So what is going on, guys? NandoPrince93 here with another video, and today we're going to go over a couple things, right? We're going to go over, this is my follow-up video for iPadOS 14 Beta 8, so I kind of want to show you guys, or at least tell you guys my overall experience with the latest version or the latest iteration of iPadOS 14, which is that Beta 8 software. Then we're going to touch on, when to expect the GM version and then the public version so everybody can use it. And then let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a pretty big day. We're going to have a bunch of new products, probably some new software, some new services that are going to come out. So let's hop right into it, guys. Okay, so let's touch on the iPad first, right? iPadOS Beta 8. So iPadOS 14 Beta 8 was released last week, I think on Wednesday or Thursday. Apple's been really iffy and really strange about their release dates. Like last year was the first year I was part of the public developer program, so it's a non-paid version. So mine did come out a little bit later than the regular developer program, but last year Apple was pretty accurate and they had a pattern to the release dates, right? It was pretty much every 2 weeks in the beginning and then every week on a Tuesday it would release until that final iteration or that final keynote where the new iPhone was presented and then the iOS was presented to pretty much the public, right? This year has been different. We had that 2-week stretch where I think iPadOS Beta 1 through 3 came out every 2 weeks, then we had it on a weekly basis. Then one came out like 5 days later, then 9 days later, so it's been all over the place. But to let you guys know the release schedule, in my opinion, I think tomorrow we're gonna get the GM edition. So that's the final edition for both public developers and regular developers. They'll be able to play with the final version and see exactly what Apple wants as their final vision for everybody to see. And then probably by the 22nd, which is probably the day that we're going to be able to get those new iPads and whatever the new products are, on the 22nd, so that following Tuesday, is when I think we're going to see the final public release of iOS 14 and iPadOS 14. But in terms of my follow-up to iPadOS 14, everything has been smooth. As you guys see, my widgets came back to normal, my home screen is looking good, I was able to clear out all the icons from my home screen. Battery life is getting much better, especially with the Magic Keyboard. With the Magic Keyboard, battery drain is insane, especially with the 2018 version, and especially in the beginning of the iPadOS 14 beta program. But now we're getting, again, towards the end of it, so battery performance has been a lot better. I do keep it plugged in a lot of the day, but at the same time, battery performance has been wonderful, right? It's still not as good as without the keyboard, obviously, but it's getting better versus a couple months ago when Apple first released the Magic Keyboard. So keep that in mind. But from a functionality standpoint, it's looking clean. All of my apps have been working. I've had no productivity hiccups or issues. This is the second beta where I haven't had to reboot or restart or do anything crazy to my iPad to be able to make sure everything looks how it's supposed to. And like I said, widgets are back, everything is back to normal, and it's looking a lot cleaner. Just wish we had a better killer feature aside from Scribble for iPadOS 14, but that's the story of Apple. Tease us a little bit with, curse to support a Magic Keyboard, make us think it's a laptop when in reality, it's still an iPad, guys. But that's been my follow-up, right? So overall, great performance, functionally impressive, and I think they're pretty much ready for that final release date, guys. Of the 22nd is my opinion, like I said. And then lastly, I'm gonna take my stab at kind of guessing as to what Apple's gonna release tomorrow, and then also moving forward, right? So tomorrow, I do believe we're gonna get some sort of iPad Air 4, so the next iteration of the iPad Air series, but it's gonna look a lot different. It's gonna look a lot like the iPad Pro. And they're obviously going to take back a bunch of the stuff that the iPad Pro currently has, probably less speakers, Lightning instead of USB-C, a chipset that isn't maybe as new as 813 or 812, and that's what they're going to give us. And it's probably going to be compatible with the Magic Keyboard. And then we're also, I think, supposed to get AirPods Studios, so some sort of over-ear headphones of the AirPod line, and then also AirTags. AirTags are going to be huge. I'm hoping they're a better alternative to Tile. I never really got into the Tile ecosystem because it does require more tiles to be around for it to be as accurate as possible, and I'm hoping AirTags has some sort of different and better technology so I can, pretty much track my dog wherever he is. I know a lot of people are saying that iPhone 12 won't be releasing tomorrow. I have an inkling that maybe it will, especially the two cheaper models, and then also I do think, not tomorrow, but in October, November, I do think that Apple is going to be releasing some sort of iPad Pro Max or iPad Pro Ultra, or something that's going to give us more iPad Pro features, right? So it's going to be something a lot more powerful with the internals being a lot closer to laptop status, and that's just my opinion. So definitely stay tuned for October, November, because in October, end of October, it'll be 2 years since the iPad Pro 3rd Gen came out. And you know what? I'm ready for a new one, guys. Something a little bit different, a little bit more powerful. But that's going to do it for this video. These are my guesses. That was my overall impressions of iPadOS Beta 8. I do think we're going to get the GM tomorrow, the final version on the 22nd, and I'm just excited to see what Apple gives us tomorrow, because again, there's a lot in the air. Sure, we have some inklings and some ideas, but But again, for the most part, we don't really know what to expect, and that's what's really nice to see. But again, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.